Hello, everyone. This is Rose. I'm hoping you all had a chance to hear my announcement. Coming soon, the Book of Life will debut its first podcast on April the 2nd at 12 noon Central Standard Time. This video is really to give an introduction to the purpose of the Book of Life and who I am before the actual debut of the podcast. Let me give you a little insight on the purpose of the Book of Life. The purpose is to have an open discussion about life in hopes that someone would be enriched from the wisdom of others sharing their thoughts. Those others are you, the audience. Of course, I'm going to give you my 2 cents. I'm going to do a little commentary, probably before, during the middle, or after I tell someone's life story. And I would love it for you all to be on the outside as looking into this story and to share your opinion, share your wisdom on what you took out of the story. This is people real life stories. That's what the Book of Life is about. It's understanding that the one common thing that we have in common as people is this journey called life. Life be lifing for a lot of us. We have good moments, we have bad moments. But the one thing we can relate to is we're all on this journey called life. Now, the thing is, the road we travel may not be the same road. We may have different experience from one another, but at the same time, we can gather, we have similar travel roads, similar experience that we can learn from one another. It's, if you notice, many times, whenever you're talking to people that you know that you're close to and they telling you about something that went on in their life, being on the outside looking in, you become an expert. We always give our expert opinion about what someone has dealt with, what they're going through. We uplift them, we encourage them. But when we're in the midst of the story, when we're part of the storyline, sometimes because we're going through it, it's hard for us to even articulate or give our own self some advice or even to think what to do, to think with wisdom. So the purpose of this is to just talk about life. Sometimes just talking about what you're going through or what somebody else went through helps when we hear it and we come up with a solution of, we share our opinion, our wisdom. It helps us when we're faced with the same thing, or it helps us when someone we know went through that and we read something about it, or we read the comments, we read what people said. We know how now to help that person, how to encourage that person, how to uplift that person. And so sometimes, I want to tell you a little bit about myself. Is that I am a mother of 4. I raised 2 boys, 2 girls. I will be turning 67 in July of this year. And I am a believer. I believe in God, but that doesn't make me perfect. I don't judge anyone, and I clearly don't appreciate it when I'm being judged. God gave us free will, and He didn't make us the judge police of nobody's life. So I believe in letting people live their life. And if there's any way I can enrich their life by when they come to me and they need an ear to hear, then I'm going to be that ear to hear. If they're looking for me to give them words of encouragement, I'm going to be giving them those words of encouragement. And so that's what this platform is to do, is to open up that window where people can hear real life stories that is very similar to something they went through, and they can share their wisdom in the comments. They can because I always look on social media and read the comments. I learn a lot from reading the comments. And so that's the purpose of this platform. Let's talk about life. Okay, now back to who I am, being a senior person. As I told you, I'm turning 67 this year. So that means when you see me weekly being the narrator of someone else's life story or mine, you have to be prepared because I'm a senior. So therefore, I get that senior brain fog or freeze or whatever, senioritis, whatever you want to call it. I get that from time to time. So if you see me telling a story and I pause for a minute when I'm giving my commentary, it's okay. I'm going to keep talking because eventually that means I lost my thought, where I was at, what I was about to say. And once I keep talking and running my mouth, oh, I'm going to piggyback. I'm going to go back to where I was at. Trust and believe I'm going to remember where I was at and I'm going to get back there. So bear with me. Don't be so critical of who I am. So I'm going to put it out there now so that you can understand who I am, who the narrator is of the story. So when you see me do little things and your focus is more on critiquing me rather than understanding the scenario of what the story represents. Because what we need is your wisdom. Not to, if you want to say something about me, that's fine. I could take it. I'm a big girl. But the purpose of this is to hear the story and share your wisdom. We can learn from each other. Okay. So also, I always tell people that I speak 4 languages, 3 fluently. I speak English, Hood, Ebonics, and Country. That's who I am. I make no apology for it. That's who I am. I'm proud of my 4 languages. So when you hear me say something, if I do not enunciate the word correctly, it's okay. As long as you understand what I'm saying. You feel me? As long as you understand what I'm saying. Because the gift is in the voice. Being able to speak and communicate with voice. That's the way I look at things. I'm not looking at it the glass half full. I'm looking at it the glass full. And long as God gave me the ability to speak, I'm going to speak it however way it comes out my mouth. So I'm giving you an introduction of who I am before I get started and join you April the 2nd with the podcast so we can get past all of those little things. Okay. Also, as the narrator, and I'm telling other people's story, I want to make sure that nobody come back to me and say, you didn't tell my story right. You missed this, you missed that, you did this, you did. So what, from time to time, you're going to see me look down because I'm reading my notes of that person's story, making sure that I don't miss anything. Because the last thing I need is somebody barking in my ear telling me you didn't tell my story right. So the opinion and the wisdom they left is not helping me because you didn't tell them all the details. So I'm going to make sure I put all the details in the story. Also, the people names that you hear me speak on, they have been changed to protect their privacy. So it's going to be made up names. But the story is real. Life is real. Let's talk about it. Okay. So I kind of I made some bullet points. And see, that's another thing. I made bullet points and some notes here. But guess what? I started talking and I forgot all about reading this. So hopefully I didn't forget anything that this introduction give you a insight of what the podcast is going to be like and who I am. And like I say, I'm going to give my commentary. I'm going to say what I feel about it to a degree, because there's certain things I'm not going to say, even though I'm thinking it. Because like I said, I'm a believer. I'm a Christian. I believe in God. So the most you're going to hear me say is ass and heifer, but you ain't going to hear me cursing unless I'm really heated. Okay, so I'm not going to say I don't curse, because I do. But the most I would say is ass or heifer. I'm not a person that curse a lot. Okay. Um, I just feel that if I speaking in my four languages and you don't understand some of the wording, it's okay. Keep listening, keep tuning in. It's going to become easy to you, because it make me think about a time when I started working at a new company, and I've been at this company for 16 years. But in that first year, the person from our IT department had a very heavy accent, very heavy. I mean, I hated to call IT for help because I couldn't understand nothing he said. And as time went on, it took about a year before it seemed like either his accent decreased or my understanding. I just think it's my understanding of his words. It became what I understood what he was saying. It was like a miracle. So when the other new people would come into the company and they go, I can't understand nothing that guy say. I say, oh, I can. I can interpret. I can. Now I'm proud because I can interpret what he's saying for the other people because I understand him now. So keep tuning in. You'll get me. So if I say something that's bizarre, you'll be like, what the heck did she just say? Keep listening. Pretty soon, it'll be music to your ears. So I look forward to seeing you or joining you. Well, you'll see me. I don't know if I see you, but at least we'll be here together April the 2nd at 12 noon Central Standard Time. And because it's going to be a live video recording, you can tune in anytime after 12 noon to catch me, the Book of Life. Thank you for listening to me. I hope this become a beautiful relationship. I look forward to sharing life stories. Life be lifing. So let's talk about it, okay? Be blessed, people. Peace. I'm out until April the 2nd. Talk to you then.